Hey guys, in our previous video, we saw how to connect to a data source, do some transformations, and to come up with a data model, create relationships and cardinality, right? So today, we'll see how to create a simple visual, a single page dashboard on top of it. Um, so we'll start with creating few charts. Let me add a title to this first. Okay, I'll add a text box. Let me give a name to this. I'll just say apparel dashboard. I'll just increase the font size, let's say 28. I'll give some color to the text. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll add some title on the left, a few KPIs on the top, and followed by a couple of visuals in the bottom. Okay. So we'll just try to come up with a high level dashboard view, a simple view. Okay. So now let me add some KPIs on the top. I'll go with this card. So now, if you understand the data or recall the data, it is all about the orders placed, the amount sold, right? We have sales, we have quantities, and we have dimensions, informations like the products, category. We also have customer, employees, and suppliers. So which supplier and they belong to which country, and what categories we have, and underneath each category we have different products, and we also have a department which has many categories under that, right? So we have these informations. So I'll go with few measures, like let's say the total sales, total quantity, and maybe the total product, or the total orders. Okay, something like that. So let me start with sales. So I'll just create a new measure for that. So okay, we have sales in order details. So I'll create a new measure. I'll name it as total sales. The reason I'm going with the calculated measure is I'm planning to use this sales in multiple places. Okay, so this is something we are going to repeat in multiple places, multiple charts. So I'll just create it as a measure, separate measure. So I'm calling it as total sales, which is nothing but sum of sales, which comes from order details. Okay, so let me confirm this. So you could see total sales here. Let me drag and drop it over here. So when I click on this card visual, so we see the visual formatting options. Okay, so we have call out value. I can give some color to it. I can make it bold, or I can change the font size. And this is for the label. Again, I can make it bold. I'll just increase the font size. Okay, I'll arrange it somewhere at the top over here. Okay, probably I'll reduce the label font a little bit, and the value also. So I'll just go with 35, 15. So I'll just simply copy paste this. I'll add two more KPIs. So we have sales. What I will do is I will add quantity over here for this card. Just drag and drop some of quantity. I can rename this, right? So I'll just rename for this visual. I'll call this as total quantity. This is my total sales, total quantity. And finally, I will display my orders. Okay, so we have order ID over here. So I'll go with the total orders. So instead of saying count of, I'll just simply say hash order ID, so which is the count of order ID, and I want a distinct count. Okay, not just the count. So I'll go with count of distinct. Okay, so which returns me the distinct count of orders. Okay, so now I have couple of KPIs at the top. I have a title. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create some visuals. Um, Let me create a column chart or a simple bar chart. Okay, so I'll analyze the sales. So that's my measure. On the dimension is going to be category name. Okay, so let me maximize this for better readability. So what we have here is sales by different category. Let me make some formatting to it. So first thing is I'll enable the data labels so that we could see the labels on top of it, top of each bar. I can enable the title as well. No, this may not help. So you see various properties, right? So whatever is required, we'll just go and enable them. So under data labels, okay, we go to general. So here we could see the title is on. In effects, right, we have shadows and borders. If you want to enable border, this is going to give a border to this visual, right? So you see border to it, and then if you enable shadow, okay, so this is going to give a 3D shadow effect. Okay, so for time being I'm just going to disable all those. So I'm not going to use any border or shadow. I'm just going to leave it as plain. So now data label, we have values. I'll just make it bold. Okay, so let me maximize this. So I've just made these values bold. Okay, so it is somewhat visible, or if you want to make the x-axis bold, you can do that as well. Okay, so yeah, we have a simple bar chart over here which shows the sales by category. Okay, so now let me resize it. I'll just keep it over here. Now let me add a uh, pie chart. I'll analyze the sales by department. Okay, so we have various category under these departments. So I'll just do analysis by department over here. Okay, so since we have very less values in department, I will go with a pie chart. If there are many values, a bar chart would be a meaningful option, but since we have only couple of values, I'm going with pie. I'm just trying to arrange it as best as we can within this available space. So we can uh, format this pie chart as well. So let's say I have slices, and you could see colors are predefined, right, for each of this different department. So we can change colors if you want. So I've given a different color for clothing and shoes, and even here as well, right? So we see all these properties, the effects, titles, tooltips, so and so. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this as such. Let me create one more visual. Let's say a trend or line chart. Okay, so I'm going to analyze the total sales um, by, let's say, by month. Okay, so we have two dates, order date and delivery date. I'm going to go with the order date. I select the month. So we have different order months, right? So it gives me a trend of the total number of orders placed in these months. What I will do is, we since we have many years, right? So I will also try to add a legend for this. Okay, so you see an option to add legend over here. I'll add year as a legend over here, so that you get multiple lines for each of these years. Okay, so let me maximize this. So let's make some formatting changes here. So legend is turned on, so you see the legend on the top. If you don't want this, we can turn it off. Okay, and then we have title, we have tooltips. Okay, um, okay, data label on. Okay, so let me enable this so that we could see the values on this line. We have something called markers. Okay, so when I make this mark switch on this, you could see a dot right against each data point, so that's a marker. We also have a series label. Okay, so the series is nothing but these lines, right? Every line is a series over here, so which represents all these years. So when I enable a series, so you could see the corresponding values over here. Okay, but it's up to us. I'm just going to turn it off since I have a legend already over there at the top, so which tells me which line stands for which year. So I'm just turning the series level off. Okay, so now what we have got is a trend chart by month, by year, which shows us the sales, right? Okay, so finally we'll create one more chart. um, Let me go with the donut. We'll just try this out. Let's say, let me analyze sales again, but I'll go with, say, supplier country probably. So since we have many countries, what we'll do is I'll try to limit this, right? So when I enable this filter portion and I highlight this, select this chart, I see all the fields which are used over here, right? So we have a dimension supplier country and the measure is total sales. So what I will do is I'll try to filter this supplier country rather than showing all the country. I'll just go with top n. Okay, so I'll say top 5, and based on which value we are going to filter this top 5. Okay, so since our measure is sales, I'll still go with my sales. Okay, so what I'm saying is based on total sales, so it's going to take sort in descending order, right? So it's going to take all the top 5 sales and consider those countries which are contributing to the top 5, right? So what we see here is top 5 supplier country and their corresponding sales. Okay, so we'll just quickly publish this to our workspace. So I'll go with my workspace, select this, I'll replace and publish. Okay, so once we publish this to our workspace, we'll go there and we'll have a final look of how it looks in the Power BI services. So this is how our dashboard looks like in the Power BI services. I'll just go to full screen mode and we could see the final output of our dashboard, right? So hope we got some basic understanding of how to create some visuals and all the properties behind each of these visuals. Please do let me know in the comment section for any clarification. Thanks for watching.